Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Bad Thoughts Podcast. Today, we are doing a live trailer reaction to Tron Ares. Before we get started, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you guys are notified once a video is uploaded. Today, I got the boys from Orange Grove 55 joining us, OG and George, the Italiano. How we feeling, boys?
Very good tones. Always a good time talking shop with you. Can't wait for this one.
Yes, sir. I can't wait either.
Absolutely. Always a good time doing these trailer reactions. Love them, and very excited about this one to say because I think we kind of were anticipating, but yet not 100% sure how it would kind of end up being in the end. So
Absolutely. And I'll link the video that we did when I believe we talked about it when we talked about the D23 episode that I had you guys on. And we also talked about Disney's 2025 movies that we talked about.
Yes.
So I'll put those videos at the end where we kind of touch on Tron and our thoughts of the movie before we saw the trailer. So if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, what's your guys? I'll start with you, OG. What's your thoughts on this movie? It is, it's been a while since we got our last Tron movie, Legacy, back in 2010. So, but what's your initial thoughts on this before we get into the trailer?
Yeah, this has been a sequel that I think Disney fans have really been wanting. I've heard a lot, like in our Disney fandom. People have been asking for this, right? So it's kind of interesting because Tron is sort of still, in my opinion, sort of it's a little bit of like a niche thing. It's not really for everybody, right? So I'm kind of surprised Disney went there with this, so long after the fact. What was that? 15 years now? It's crazy to me. 15 years ago? That's wild to me. So it's surprising, but we saw a little taste of some of this over at D23 in August, and it looks dope. I mean, with the red and all that, the aesthetically looks really clean. We'll get into it after the trailer, but there is sort of an angle they're going at with this particular one that I feel like could be really dope, or it could fail miserably. It just really depends on the execution. And after the trailer, we'll kind of talk about that. But yeah, overall though, I'm excited. I do like the world of Tron. It's pretty cool. I wish Disney would utilize it more in the parks in different ways. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh wait, yeah, I'll save it for after the trailer. Go ahead, Tone. I'm sorry.
Okay, no, I was gonna bring that up sometime in the video. There is a Tron ride, I believe, in Disney World, at Disneyland, but it's a movie that is very different from a lot of these movies that we've seen because of the world that it's playing in. The grid, and we are getting a different one here, but it's just different from a lot of movies that we've ever seen. I'm really surprised we haven't seen a lot coming out from any kind of spin-off when it comes to Tron, maybe a TV show or another movie. It's been 15 years since we saw our last movie. So it is really confusing because, for one, there's tons of fans behind Tron and what it is, and we still haven't seen anything in years. And they just when they opened the ride at Disney World, recently, 3-5 years ago. Yeah, shit, 2 years ago. So it's what is going on?
They used to have Tones. They used to have not to digress too much, but they used to have a nighttime party, so to speak, at California Adventure, where it was called Electronica. And they would turn the whole Hollywood land into the grid. So there was projection mapping of the light cycles on all the buildings. They had lasers. They had a performer called Laser Man, bro. And this guy would actually manipulate the lasers with his hands.
That's sick,
dude. It was dope. I'll send you some video on this. But and then they would have a club area with music, and then a bar and stuff. And it was a really cool place to kind of dance and vibe and drink and watch cool shows. And that lasted what, George, a summer, I think, and that was it.
It was a summer, maybe 2 summers, but they did it for the promotion for Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
But when the film came out after so long, it just kind of fell short, and then Electronica eventually became the Mad Tea Party.
Yeah.
You don't seem too excited about that.
That one fits to a certain demographic. I preferred Electronica, to be honest. But Tron is such a very unique case when it comes to films. If you look at all 3 films, of how far gap they are when released. You would never really see like movies made that way. I mean, other than Avatar. But Avatar is kind of like a James Cameron thing where he just loves to take his time, and that like spans the gaps. But with Tron, like the first one came out in 1982, second one in 2010, now the third one in 2025. So it's a huge risk that they're spacing these out so much. And I do hope that, I mean, Tron Legacy did pretty well, I think, decent, when it was released, but not the banger that I think Disney was anticipating. So I hope they get a home run on Tron Ares. I would love for it to, because I think if it just does okay, I think that's pretty much kind of nail in the coffin for it. So I want it to succeed because I want to see Tron implemented into the parks more, not just with the roller coaster at Walt Disney World and Shanghai, but do stuff like with Electronica, like how they used to do that. And possibly it may even help out the situation of what's going on in Tomorrowland, so you never know.
Now, George, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought there was for a short amount of time, like a Tron animated show a few years ago, or am I tripping?
I
thought there was. Let me see. I thought there was, but maybe they canceled it. Let me see. Tron.
While you look that up, I wanted to say something real quick. So I understand from 1982 when the original movie came out, like the visual effects weren't. Go ahead, George.
Sorry, not to cut you off. Yeah, it actually was. Disney Television Animation and Polygon Pictures released May 2012 to January 2013.
Yeah, they dabbled in it. I remember the animation looked pretty cool. That's why I vaguely remember that.
Now I remember. Tron Uprising.
There you go.
Yep. Damn. What was I saying? Oh, so okay, 1982, the first one came out, right? The visual effects back then were, cool for its time. And then we get to 2010 where we get the Legacy, but I could see why in that span the visual effects wasn't really appealing to a lot of people. Like you kind of have to understand why those effects are the way they are, because it wasn't, that great back in the day. But visual effects now are a lot fucking different. It's amazing what we can put together on, with these effects. So that's more of my confusion of like, I understand why back in the day you had that mindset, but now the visual effects are a lot fucking different, where you can make a world that people will love and love to go watch. And you like games, you can make a fucking video game out of this.
Oh,
but
easy.
I can't remember the last Tron game I've ever heard of ever. So it's just really confusing to me when it comes to not marketing, but projects when it comes to this franchise.
Oh, 100% Tones. And the cool thing about Tron is like you don't even really have to like the movies to like appreciate the world. Like it's just a dope visual, dope aesthetic. And yeah, just lean into that, Disney, you know what I'm saying? Like, in your parks or what have you, because I feel like that's like something where like even if you don't like the movies, you can appreciate that. Now, an interesting kind of angle here. I'm very curious because with like you were saying, Tones, with technology, we've gotten so good with technology where you can just do just about anything now, right? With CGI and what have you. But I'm wondering if, like, let's say Tron Ares is a huge hit, right? Well, how do you top the visuals? And I'm like, I wonder if maybe like the next movie, like something happens. Like this is so hypothetical, like speculation, right? This is like just kind of nerding out. But what if something happens to like the grid and they revert back to like the old school graphics, you know what I'm saying? And the next movie is like something, they're like a virus hits it or something and they have to rebuild. And it's a little like, like the 8-bit stuff again.
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
That would be kind of cool, right? Like, cause you're already reached that threshold where like, okay, it's already looking dope. Like, how much more real can you get? So why not go back to the, like to the foundation of how it started?
Exactly. Okay. I like that, OG. I like that idea. There's a lot of things they could do with it as well, like rebuild the grid and kind of and go with the storyline of who's the person who rebuilds it. Oh my god, that's.
Or what if they really wanted to go really ballsy, like, and in order to do that, they actually have to go back into the past, so they have to time travel. And in a brief moment, you see the Mandalorian pull up, and Marty McFly and Doc Brown come on, and Doc Brown looks around and goes, "Oops, sorry, wrong studio."
Oh, that'd be
studio.
fucking amazing.
That'd be
That'd
great.
be fucking amazing. All right, sorry guys, we can yap all day, but let's watch this. What you guys came here to see. All right, so this is our official reaction to Tron Ares. Here we go.
120 miles per hour, last seen heading northbound.
Unit 12, acknowledging dispatch. Already in pursuit.
Oh.
So good.
Oh my god.
No, come on, bro.
What?
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand.
Wow.
Ready?
Bro, holy
Dude.
There's no going back.
Okay, Jared Leto actually looked good there.
Yeah, he did. He looked dope. Now, the crazy thing with that Nine Inch Nails thing is at D23, they announced them as the group that's going to be doing the music, right? And George and I are sitting there in the audience, right? And a red laser hits like the screen that's on stage and draws the Nine Inch Nails logo with the laser.
That's dope, dude.
And it was like, oh my god, this is sick, dude. I was like, it's dope. That trailer looked absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, real quick before we get your thoughts on it. Jared Leto, of course, we mentioned. Jeff Bridges, love Jeff Bridges. Evan Peters. I don't know if you guys have seen Evan or know who Evan Peters is, but he's a great actor as well. And then we got some more in here, but those are the three that I was looking or anticipating to see. I think those three are very great actors. Or Jared Leto, I mean, he is a good actor. I'm just not a fan of some of the movies that he's done. But all in all, this trailer looks fucking amazing. But George, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I love of what they just showed us right now. And honestly, as I said, going back to seeing it at D23, I love the difference of like bringing Tron into our world, you know, by utilizing the technology in the grid, but showcasing it in real world setting. And it poses a threat, you know, and it's going to be interesting to see how human civilization handles that threat and how they can like overcome it. So it's like all those questions to kind of see, you know, all wrapped into one trailer. But the graphics on it look amazing. I love how, you know, they add in the light cycles and like the flying and you know, throughout the city and everything. So that looks awesome. I love that they got Jeff Bridges back. The fact that he was able to do all three films is, you know, and again, because it's so gapped out, you know, that could have been a hit or miss. But I mean, I'm so glad that they were able to have him come back, reprise his role. And so far, I mean, it's looking good for me. I am very curious. I will go see it in theaters. You know, that is something that I would want to see. And Tron feels like it would be a movie that you would want to kind of see in theaters, like especially like with the surround sound and like all that. Like, so that's a movie that I definitely have that on my my list for sure.
The cool thing, the kind of the vibe I'm getting with this movie is like Tron meets Independence Day or something. It's almost like this alien invasion. I know it's not aliens, but like it kind of has that feeling of like we're being invaded by this otherworldly entity is coming on into Earth and like causing havoc. It kind of gives that vibe, but then you got all the Tron aesthetic.
Basically, bro, what you just described was the birth of my ex-wife.
There we go. Hey,
I was
Tones,
trying to
it wouldn't be a George video without the ex-wife.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wish I had your counter on mine. No, but you guys have great points, both of you. I mean, for me, the effects is something that technically it's not hard for movies nowadays for them to look bad, but we've seen movies these days look bad because of the effects.
Oh, yeah.
Snow White, but it was the effects was definitely something that had to fucking look good, otherwise this movie was going to crash. The storyline, we still have a lot of questions. How did they get there? Who's the one who put him in the real world? It looked like they were using the bikes even before that. What's that thing called again? That thing that came over the city.
Oh yeah, what's that called? It's like the Equalizer or something. What is that thing called, George? You know, you're like the movie encyclopedia. Like you know everything.
I usually am, but I know what you're talking about. For some reason, the name escapes me.
Oh man, what are those called? But yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
it looked like they came after those bikes were there. So why were they there before? Why were the people there in that world, in our world, before that actual thing came? So there's a lot of questions that we still have, or that I have from seeing the trailer. But you could tell just by the effects alone, there's going to be plenty of action in this movie. It looks good, guys. It looks good. I do want to ask you guys.
Really quick, hold your question. I just have to say, I do agree with you and OG. Jared Leto is a good actor, very good actor, but he could be. That's a risk in itself, because again, it could be like a make or break kind of thing, because there are some movies that I think he's done really well. There are some movies that is like,
well, he's kind of like, he's a great actor, but he's very dry. Like the dude doesn't really have like, I don't know. There's something missing there. Like he can act for sure, but there's something not. I don't know.
It might be just the characters he gets picked as or casted as that could be the reason why some people don't appeal to some of the movies that he's in. But like you said, he's a great actor. Just the movies that he's been in doesn't hit for me. I'll speak for myself. It doesn't hit for me. But yeah, it's definitely a movie you have to go see, George. Like you said, you have to go see in movies. You need the sound effects. You need the visual effects on the big screen. You need the not interaction, but the reaction, rather, from the fans in attendance. Like I always tell people, my biggest or my favorite movie experience was going to go see Endgame, when they all came back from the snap and you've seen all the fans and everyone just cheering and going crazy. Like you can't beat that experience in a movie. And Tron, not saying it's going to be as big as that experience, but it's one of those movies where you have to go watch it because of the effects, the sound effects, and the fans reacting to stuff that's going on screen.
100%.
I agree with you with that. There are several movies that had impacted when I went. Like Endgame was one of them. Spider-Man: No Way Home. I mean, when Tobey Maguire and
absolutely
Garfield,
Andrew
Garfield, yes. When they came on screen, like, I mean, hell, you thought Elvis walked into the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and then believe it or not, Frozen. I went opening day, literally. I mean, when it was like the Frozen, mania, I went with my son and my ex Chupacabra, and
number two. Score here, number two.
And literally, they could not. I guess they oversold tickets where people would pay to stand to watch this movie opening day, and people did, and it literally got a standing ovation. An animated film, I have never seen that done. Everybody stood up and gave like a standing ovation when it was over.
Well, for some people, it was just an ovation because they were already standing, right?
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, Frozen was lightning in a bottle. That was such a like a movement. I mean, that thing was like crazy how big that thing got.
I still am under the belief that they made that movie so people will stop Googling if Walt Disney is still frozen. I'm under that belief, bro.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
But good thing they did, because that movie it's so good. It's so good.
Oh yeah, it hits.
And it
Yeah.
also ties into Tarzan or something like that, right? Like people were saying that
Yeah, it's like in the Disney universe that the parents of Anna and Elsa were also the parents of Tarzan when they went out
Yeah.
on the boat. It crashed, but they didn't die. They got shipwrecked in the jungle. The mom got a little like hot and heavy on the boat. She got pregnant, gave birth to Tarzan, and that was that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that connection, bro. I've always been interested. And by the way, we should do a video on some of these connections within the Disney universe or animated universe, because
And I know
that's
we're going like
awesome.
way off the topic of Tron, but actually, you could actually see Rapunzel and Flynn Rider in cameos during the Elsa's coronation day. They're in the town's people like waiting for them to open the gates.
Yeah, they walk right by.
That's fucking awesome, dude. I love that shit. I love
Yeah,
that
like
shit.
even
But back
like
to
even
Tron.
like
Oh, go ahead.
oh, I was
No,
even
go
on even on the well, I think it's Hunchback of Notre Dame. You can see that there's a fountain on. There's like an aerial shot of like a courtyard, and there's like a little fountain, and you see Belle from Beauty and the Beast reading a book.
No way.
Yes.
Hunchback of
Dude,
Notre Dame.
I would love to do. Let's do a video, boys, of that, like on
Oh,
your
hell
on OG or on Orange Grove, because I think that would be a cool little thing. That because there's probably more that I believe someone did a video on it for one, but I
Yeah.
think there's more that we don't even know about that. That's probably connected.
Oh, I'm
Has to
down,
be.
bro. Let's
You
do
can
it.
actually see in the very beginning of The Little Mermaid when Triton is coming out. You can see in the crowd of the merfolk, Goofy is actually there.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a I can't remember, it was Coco. I think it was Coco with the Pizza Planet truck that passes by.
They do have that. Every Pixar film has a reference to the Pizza Planet truck.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And actually, if you watch Lady and the Tramp when they're eating the spaghetti dinner, in the meatball it says the Italiano. It's pretty cool.
Oh no, I already knew that one, dude. I already knew that one. And Ratatouille, I think it was in George was in there too.
I think so.
Had the Italiano on the no, I was kidding. But yeah, boys. I mean, the movie looks great. The movie looks really good. I mean, it wasn't a huge trailer, a long trailer rather, but it still looks good.
Sometimes you don't need it. You don't need to have
exactly.
I feel like, if it can grab the audience attention just like it did with us, and we're having that conversation of like what we think, sometimes less is more. Sometimes too much could be too much, as I always say it. But yeah, so I think I'm very curious. Sometimes all it takes is one trailer from me, and that's all I would need. That's literally how I felt with the live action Lilo and Stitch. I mean, I have a strong opinion about these live action remakes, but I have to say, just with that one trailer of Lilo and Stitch, I'm sold. I want to see it. I don't need to see any more.
Yeah, it's a billion dollar movie. The normies are gonna eat that up, dude.
100%. And we talked about this before, and there's a lot of newer live action remakes that people are making that actually look really good, and I think they should stick to that formula of whatever they're doing. I don't know if it's just sticking to the original story, making it live action, or making the characters look good. I couldn't tell you which one it is that people are loving, but you see How to Train Your Dragon is one that is going to be $1 billion movie. Lilo and Stitch, like there's some that are looking really good. There's one that in particular that's not looking too good, especially in the box office as we speak. But there's a lot of things that there's a formula that I think people are sticking to, that the live action remakes are looking really good, and I can't wait to see more.
Yeah,
sure.
and Tony, you bring up a great point here, where it's like a lot of people want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right?
Mm-hmm.
But live action remakes do have a place, like if done right. It's just I think Disney overdoes it. But like some of these look great. Like the Lilo and Stitch looks phenomenal. Universal, their first kind of go at this with the How to Train Your Dragon looks amazing. Like I'm open to these live action remakes. Just do them right and do them with quality. That's all we ask.
Exactly. And shit, at this point, we haven't seen a Monsters Inc. anything in fucking years. I mean, sequel, but fuck it, do a live action.
Let's go.
No,
let's
people
do
would
it.
fucking be pissed if they ever did a Monsters.
Well, Pixar actually, Pete Docter, the dude who runs Pixar, said that he was asked that question. Like, what do you think about live action remakes? Like, what about Pixar getting into that? And he said our studio has no interest in that. He's like, no, we're good. We're good.
People would be pissed. But any last thoughts before we get out of here, boys?
No, I'm just excited to see it. It looks really cool, man. I think this could be a banger for Disney. You know, I hope it does well. I mean, it looks pretty interesting. So we'll see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But boys, I appreciate you guys for joining me. Guys, I will leave everything in the description below, so make sure you guys go check it out. Go follow George. Go follow OG. Go follow their YouTube channel. If you guys want any Disney information, please go to Orange Girl 55. You guys will find everything there. But make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and let us know a trailer reaction you guys want us to react to. Put it in the comments, all right? But appreciate you guys for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Love y'all.
Peace.